The high school wrestling season is flying by. The Christmas and holiday tournaments are now history. And the first of the major postseason tournaments, the District 3 Team Championships, is just 3 weeks away. Tonight, a regular season Mid-Penn Capital matchup. It's Milton Hershey at Bishop McDevitt, next on High School Sports Live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm John Repitz, joined by George Hartwick, ready to bring you another evening of live wrestling action made possible by our premier sponsors, PHFA, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, and Select Medical. Thank you to them for their support of high school wrestling. George, should have an interesting match tonight. The Crusaders and Spartans, both teams had enjoyed good success in 2017, but a couple days ago we turned the calendar. It's now 2018. Okay, and for one of these teams, it's literally like starting all over, isn't it?
Yeah, we're talking about Milton Hershey. Some of the things that exist in regular high school life doesn't exist at Milton Hershey. Great opportunities for young men. This year they've got, I think, a record number of kids out, but they take a reprieve from the 21st of December up until January 7th. They were visiting their parents or grandparents at home. So they're back now at school. They're getting back in the vibe of wrestling, and they come to face a very tough opponent tonight in McDevitt's gym. Two undefeated teams, and should be a great matchup.
Okay, so get ready. As we say, you always have the best seat in the house thanks to our Invictus Sports crew. So get ready. It's Milton Hershey and Bishop McDevitt. Coming up next, you're watching High School Sports Wrestling presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Hey everybody, I'm at the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board talking with Corrine Donosky, who is the Director of Alcohol Education, and we are talking about know when, know how. Corrine, talk to me about the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board and its role in alcohol education.
The board promotes a no use and zero tolerance use for minors. Earlier than ever, children have started to consume alcoholic beverages. So by the age of 8, 1 in 3 children has tried alcohol, and that number jumps to 2 in 3 by the age of 12. So getting parents to understand the importance of starting conversations with their children earlier and earlier is important.
So the PLCB's new campaign is know when, know how. Talk to me a little bit about that message.
Our new campaign, it's a statewide campaign, it's called Know When, Know How. And we promote helpful tips for parents to begin starting conversations with their children. 80% of teens say that their parents influence their decisions with underage drinking. So it's important for parents to start conversations earlier than ever.
With that said about parents being involved, what are some things that parents can do to help educate their kids?
They can stay involved in their children's lives. They should know what their children are doing, where they're going, who they're going to be with, as well as their friends' parents. They should know the facts. If they visit our website, knowwhenknowhow.org, they can learn some helpful tips to start conversations with their children. Securing alcohol in their own homes. 7 out of 10 parents do not secure alcohol. So if they would secure it, then the children wouldn't have access to it.
For more information on how to start the conversation with your kids, go to knowwhenknowhow.org.
Good evening. Welcome back to Milton Hershey, getting ready to take on Bishop McDevitt here at Bishop McDevitt High School. And we are getting started tonight at 170 pounds.
Versus Darius Briggs, Milton Hershey.
And we are underway at 170 pounds. Darius Briggs on the mat for Milton Hershey.
And it looks like Cayetano Reyes
for Bishop McDevitt.
Darius Briggs versus Cayetano Reyes. Briggs in for first 2. Now back working underneath. Strong double leg tackle, now straight to his back. No back points earned. And just bear with us a little bit. We were expecting a forfeit the first match. They brought another wrestler out. So Reyes again now being led up for one, making the score 8-4. Briggs now front headlock, spins around, extending the lead to 10-4. 41 seconds to go in the first period.
This 170-pound weight class is sponsored by Select Medical this evening.
Briggs is now one-on-one. Now tries to slide in a bar. Needs to trap that far arm, which he's been able to do. Now he's got to keep it against the body. Can't let it extend away like that. He's got to keep that in tight and then run it across the back, not out front in the way that he's done. Now spins back around to maintain control. Reyes doing a good job of ripping hands and earning one, making it 10-5 at the end of the first period.
High-scoring first period match, 10-5. Favor of Darius Briggs of Milton Hershey over Cayetano Reyes of McDevitt.
As we have blood time here, it looks like blood time on the Milton Hershey wrestler, Darius Briggs. And a beautiful gym here in Bishop McDevitt, a brand new high school. Wasn't too long ago, McDevitt didn't have a high school or a wrestling program.
Right. Folks, if you're having back pain, get a free copy of our book, Back to Normal, at maddenpt.com/freebook.
Back to live action. For those of you who don't know at home, with blood time, a cumulative amount of 5 minutes for blood time. No concern related to stoppages, and as soon as you see blood, you need to stop, get it cleaned up. Once it's cleaned up, and you're bringing the guys back to the center, making sure there's no blood available or communicated. Another 2 earned and an escape for Reyes, making it 12-7. Briggs right back in on a single leg. Tries to cut across the side. Able to cover both legs, now 14-7. Got to be careful not to lock hands there. Does be careful sitting on his butt there. Puts himself in a bad position. Reyes stands back in and faces, however does not earn one. Briggs still remains in control. I think just letting Reyes up again is Briggs.
As we mentioned at the outset, this is a match in the Mid-Penn Capital Division. Both teams trying to track down Camp Hill. Both lost to Camp Hill earlier this season. So the Camp Hill Lions off to a good start, and they have control of this division as of right now.
And much credit due to Camp Hill with a big upset over McDevitt. I know McDevitt was missing a couple of wrestlers, hoping to match up a little bit better as the season progresses. Don't take anything away from Camp Hill. But folks from McDevitt believe it will change as Briggs steps through with a lateral drop, putting Reyes on his back, trying to finish it off here with 20 seconds to go. There it is.
Darius Briggs of Milton Hershey, winner by fall at 170 pounds. You're watching live high school wrestling from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Call Logan or Warren Stumpf at Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Back at Bishop McDevitt, Milton Hershey gets on the board with a forfeit at 170. At 182, we have also had a forfeit. That was going also to Milton Hershey. So the Spartans with the early 12-0 advantage over the Crusaders of McDevitt. As we now move on to our next match. 195.
It looks like we've got Solomon Myers from Milton Hershey and Dre Donnelly from McDevitt.
This match at 195 is sponsored by the Capital Region Insurance Agency.
Solomon Myers with the first two. Now trying to get a near side cradle. Again, unable to work it. Letting Dre Donnelly up for one. We talked about the layover even at the end of the last match. You saw Darius Briggs, who was dominant in that, sucking a little wind. I think anytime you take 2 weeks off of wrestling and you have holidays, it takes you a whole lot more than other sports to get back into shape. Dre Donnelly now earning two here at the edge.
Referee tonight, Jake Miller, teacher at Cumberland Valley by day, wears the striped shirt on the wrestling match at night. In charge of the action this evening. So we're back underway. First period, 195.
Again, Dre Donnelly in the offensive position, trying to lock up a one-on-one here. Bigger guys, trying to earn an inside. He'll tilt, lift the leg up, trying to turn to the position of earning near fall points, was unable to do so. Now still working a one-on-one. After being taken down early, Dre Donnelly comes back and earns a escape and a takedown to lead 3-2 at the end of the first period.
As far as the evening is concerned, I guess it couldn't get off to a better start for Milton Hershey.
No, they get a
pick up 6 points in the first two matches, so you get a 12-0 lead.
That's a big deal, but we know the hammers for McDevitt are right around the corner. When you're talking about a state runner-up team, a District 3 champion, they've got a plethora of young talent that starts in the lower weights, right at 113 specifically.
When we flip the weights and get down to the 106, 113, then that's when McDevitt will be at their strength. Well, this one could be over soon.
Solomon Myers earning 2 and 2 near fall. As you know, you need 2 seconds in the position of earning back points. We'll get you 2 points. After 5 seconds, it earns you 3. You earned 2 near fall, and now let's Dre Donnelly up to make the match 6-5 in favor of Solomon Myers from Milton Hershey. This is one of these toss-up matches. Not the kids that may make the ultimate difference at the end of the year, but certainly do in a dual meet. And again, Solomon Myers in for 2, now going for a near side cradle. Really got not in a good position there. Again, let's Dre Donnelly back to his feet. 8-6, only a takedown separates the 2 wrestlers. Both guys content with trying to face off now. Myers in on the shot. Every time he's shot so far, he's been successful. He's able to cover for another 2.
That's what he did there.
Trying to make sure he rides him out, doesn't give up anything in these last 4 seconds. Able to double underhook, may earn 2 here. Referee did not count him out.
So Solomon Myers takes a 10-6 lead after 2 periods at 195, our third match of the evening. George, you mentioned off the top of the show about the success these teams had in 2017. Milton Hershey had an 11-3 record and finished 26th in the District 3 AAA Power Rankings. McDevitt, perfect regular season, 15-0. They came in ranked 3rd in the District 3 2A Power Rankings. And they actually gave us a highly entertaining match last year at the Spartan Center at Milton Hershey. We televised that one. McDevitt came on top in that one, 44-31.
Both programs, nothing short of amazing. From the stories you hear at Milton Hershey of kids would never have a chance from all different walks of life, background, and the dream of Milton Hershey and Catherine Hershey being able to see not only young men and women who face all odds, but also come together around sports. And McDevitt did not have much of a program a couple of years ago, and now one of the perennial powerhouses related to team duels and state-ranked wrestlers in AA.
High School Sports Live is proud to partner with Milton & Sullivan, a provider of substance use and mental health counseling services for teens and adults at 4 convenient locations across central Pennsylvania since 1983. Visit them at MizzidiandSullivan.com or call 1-800-809-2925. Milton & Sullivan. We listen, we help.
We got great partners in this broadcast, and ones that make a whole lot of sense. We all have been affected by substance abuse. The opioid epidemic, we saw the governor yesterday just even announcing a public health crisis. So great way to be able to hear and access help. Great provider locally and a great sponsor of high school sports.
And as we bring that talk to a close, we are right back to live action. 1:41 left. Period 3 at 195. 10-6. Solomon Myers leading Dre Donnelly.
And again, Myers goes in quickly to have a double leg attempt. Dre Donnelly now with a front headlock, tries to trap the arm. Solomon Myers backs away. Looks like Donnelly is waiting for Myers to step in there and overextend a little bit for something that would equate to a 4 or 5 point move here. First shot I've seen Donnelly take.
Difference in physique here, George. You got Solomon, tall and lanky. Donnelly, a little bit more, how should we say, powerfully built.
Yes.
Is that an advantage one way or the other?
It can be. And I believe Solomon Myers has weighed in at the 182-pound weight class, so he's bumping up here, giving up a significant weight advantage, probably about 10 to 12 pounds here in this contest. So a little bit difference in weight. However, height and physique, he's clearly able to compete, and he's showing that he's a little bit quicker from his feet. Just wants to be careful that he doesn't get caught underneath Donnelly and finishes those takedowns like he did right there to extend the lead 12-6. Now he's earning additional back points.
Time running out. Approaching 10 seconds to go.
And may actually earn him one additional point there.
Solomon Myers of Milton Hershey extends the Spartan lead at 195 pounds. You're watching High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA Select Medical.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess. My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
Milton Hershey with the 16-0 lead, getting points in all 3 matches so far. We move on to the 220-pound match. This presented by our friends at Highmark this evening.
We've got Markeen MacArthur versus Tracy Bryan. Tracy Bryan. It says Boyd here, but Bryan on the wage sheet. But Bryan now immediately putting him to his back right now, with tightening up that headlock, trying to switch to a perpendicular position. He's pulling and pushing, trying to jam that arm across the face. This looks very dangerous, and like it ends right here.
A fast pin from Milton Hershey at 220. The Spartans extend their lead over the Crusaders. You're watching live high school sports wrestling action from High School Sports Live.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Milton Hershey with a commanding 22-0 lead over a stunned crowd here at Bishop McDevitt. As we move on to the 285-pound match, this one presented by Mazziti and Sullivan.
Okay, again, we've got 285 here. It looks like we've got Layton versus Tracy. So Tahir Layton from Bishop McDevitt versus Brian Tracy.
Milton Hershey.
£285 maximum limit here. Here Layton takes Tracy right to his back again, trying to finish off. Wants to get either straight over the top or get out perpendicular. Now he's able to cover him up. It's going to be tough to fight off. Tracy's attempting to. Tahir now letting him up. 5-0. Tahir Layton out to a 5-0 lead. Now working a 2-on-2, 1-on-1. Trying to push down the head and work a power half. He's got to start working to the side here a little bit. Now he's got a cross-face cradle, trying to lock it up. He's able to do so, earning near fall points. He wants to try and get that head in the side, knee in the side, head in the temple. I think earns 3 more at the end of the period.
Great first period for Tahir Layton, Bishop McDevitt at 285. 8-0 lead after the first 3 minutes. 2 minutes, rather, excuse me. Another look at the near fall.
Tahir Layton at the beginning of the second period selecting the neutral position. Up 8-0.
Finally, McDevitt fans have something to cheer about this evening.
Yeah, I think things are going to turn around quickly as we turn the corner from the heavies to the lights. But an impressive early lead here by Milton Hershey.
You mentioned about the hammers coming up for McDevitt. George, if you were a coach, would you prefer to have your big guns out there early, or would you rather have them come in late and maybe swing things in your favor?
I'd rather have them in the lineup.
It doesn't matter as long as you get the points, right?
As long as we get the bonus points and they don't disappoint. So key is one of the reasons Camp Hill was able to hold off McDevitt is the Camp Hill guys were able to actually fend off some bonus points. While they didn't have all the wrestlers, it was critical in a tight match that they didn't earn the bonus points. And McDevitt's big guns need to come out here again tonight with being down 22-0 and earn bonus points in order to get them back in clearly an advantage in the lead of this match.
I mentioned bonus points in this match last year, the 44-31 win that McDevitt had over Milton Hershey. Bonus points played a big role in that one, as there were a number of quick pins in that match. And those bonus points added up to that 13-point win.
Both guys here trying to work things. Dangerous positions. Tahir Layton got himself into a really dangerous spot stepping through. Brian Tracy trying to do a throw, a little bit undersized. I believe Tracy in this case is about 202 pounds. Actually, he's 200 even when we have Tahir Layton 252. So giving up about a 52-pound advantage. And again, when you're trying to throw somebody who weighs heavier than you, you better make sure you fully commit. Otherwise, you may end up in this position. But Tahir has to be careful. He wants to get his hips back, his head out. Was unable. Actually, they gave him 2. They gave him 2 and then 1. I didn't know that he earned 2 there, but referee Miller gave him 2.
Things settled down a bit in that period. head to period number 3. Tahir Layton of McDevitt with a 10-1 advantage over Brian Tracy of Milton Hershey. We start period 3 in the neutral position.
Both guys want to stay on their feet.
Do you find that's the case usually with the heavier weights? The big guys prefer to be on their feet rather than down on the mat?
There are times, I mean, the bottom position from a wrestler, if there's a distinct weight advantage, you don't want to get caught up underneath. Now right again, a headlock attempt. A headlock attempt there. Looks like he's almost got it again. The weight of Layton actually earns his head, and he didn't fully commit with his hips to get him over the top. Fortunately, both guys ended up out of bounds, and we remain in neutral.
Just didn't have enough momentum to get over the top there.
Didn't fully commit. A better attempt than it was in the past, however. And again, you got Brian Tracy always leaning forward. He's got to be careful about the way he distributes his weight, particularly giving up such a weight advantage. Now Tahir Layton backing away. Getting called for stalling. Now Brian Tracy again working this headlock, is able to trip him in front, but again, the weight advantage and not being able to fully commit, Brian Tracy ends up on the bottom position with Tahir Layton now extending his lead to 12-1.
And I love it being down by the side of the mat when the big bodies hit the mat and you feel the floor vibrate.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
You're in the action then when that's happening.
The thunder was felt. So Tahir Layton obviously using his weight advantage and his skill set here, avoiding a couple of headlock attempts, now trying to extend the lead. You better be careful he doesn't get too high. Also, Brian Tracy needs to be careful that he doesn't roll up on his back to give up any additional points. As the clock winds down, it looks like it's going to remain a 12-1 victory for Tahir Layton from Bishop McDevitt, getting them on the board.
Tahir Layton of McDevitt gets the Crusaders on the board with a win at 285. You're watching High School Sports Live Wrestling from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Now we flip the weights from the big bodies down to the 106 weight class. This match presented by Groff Tractor.
We have Seamus Burns
and Dylan Dietrich of Bishop McDevitt.
And Dylan Dietrich. Dylan Dietrich out with a quick takedown. I know the real hammers start coming up at 113 and Nate Smith, but as we turn the corner here, again 103 pounds, Dylan Dietrich trying to get the Crusaders back on track.
And just to recap, that 285 was a major decision for Tahir Layton. 4 points there, so that cuts the Milton Hershey advantage at 22-4 as we flip the weights, and we're now at 106.
Seamus Burns now being able to escape, making it 2-1. Both guys working inside tie, head to head. Got to move the guy in the position to be able to score. Hand fighting on the inside. Dietrich again in a single leg. Burns trying to counter. Now grabs the head. There's Dietrich and earns 2. First time I hear them, McDevitt fans really
starting to get into the match now.
Now trying to work a half. I think the period's going to end on him. Trying to
Just
run it.
runs out of time. Good opening period by Dylan Dietrich of McDevitt. Takes a 4-1 advantage after 2 minutes. Another look here at it.
That grabs the head, then takes him over the
control.
top.
So we go to period number 2.
Dietrich again. High crotch. Trying to turn the corner. Seamus Burns. Now trying to block off the leg. Now gives up 2. Dietrich again extends his lead now to 6-1 over Seamus Burns from Milton Hershey. Working at 2-on-1.
We talked about how they're both these teams are chasing Camp Hill. Just to get you caught up there, Camp Hill defeated McDevitt earlier this year, 36-33 on a pin by Jonathan Schuster in the last match of the
There it is. Dietrich puts Burns on his back, looking to square it up. There it is.
And the crowd is into it now at McDevitt as Dylan Dietrich comes up with a winner by fall at 106 pounds. You're watching live high school wrestling from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Well, it's amazing what a major decision and a fall can do for you. When you're trailing 22-0, it's now 22-10. Still in favor of Milton Hershey, but as you said, George, we're now moving into the real wheelhouse of the Crusaders. Joshua Minners against Nate Smith.
A little frustrated here early on. A little bit awkward, not fighting back in the way it's expected. He's looking for a stalling call. Gets one. Now works. Outside single.
McDevitt's Nate Smith was just outstanding last year at 106. He won the District 3 team title in the AA weight class, and then he went on to the PIAA individuals and came in 5th place there. One of 5 place winners for the Crusaders last year,
and 2 of which right now.
2 of which have graduated. So,
and he will end this quickly,
rather quickly.
Great fight by Minners. Now switches off the half onto an armbar. Now tries to scoop the hand. Still in the same pinning combination, so he won't earn additional points. But is going to try to pin him from a half now to an armbar. Stuffs the armbar down, and
there it is.
Readjusts to a pin.
First period fall for Nate Smith of McDevitt at 113. Watching High School Sports Live Wrestling from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Hit the road with Jack. Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over $20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at Giambalvo.com.
So it's tightened up even more. It's 22-16 now in favor of Milton Hershey as we move on to 120 pounds. And for McDevitt, another one of their big hammers, Chase Shields. Taking on Derek Nin of Milton Hershey.
Shields again, the son of McDevitt's coach, and wrestles a lot like him. Actually, Coach Shields went to school with me at Bloomsburg, and I know he's got 2 kids at the same weight, and both of them are hammers. I know their carpets and furniture will not be replaced until much later in life, and both of them have really shown the work ethic, determination, and skill set to be a major player on the statewide stage. And again, don't blink quick. Shields now pins, minute 10.
52nd pin for Chase Shields at 120. We are now knotted up, and you are watching live high school wrestling from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
We are tied up as we go to 126. It is 22 all. Milton Hershey, Bishop McDevitt. We are now at 126. This match presented by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency.
We've got Jack Cunningham for Bishop McDevitt. Might not be able to say his name before he's out here. Throws Nicholas Bell to his back.
15-second pin. Jack Cunningham, winner by fall, 15 seconds. You're watching High School Sports Live Wrestling, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Back to live action. McDevitt now on top with the last 28 points. It's now 28-22 Crusaders over the Spartans. And we move to 132. Bodie Tolbert of McDevitt
versus Tim Burge.
Milton Hershey.
And again, don't blink. This is the tough part of the lineup. You're going to see some quick action here and probably some bonus points being scored. Maybe not within 15 seconds, but I'd expect these matches, this particular one also, to burn by pretty quick.
You need to get an intern or secretary. I'm having a hard time just writing all this stuff down. Action's been so fast and furious.
Bodie Tolbert electing a optional start, giving up the one from the start. Now in on a double leg. Actually a little too aggressive. Never actually clearly established his control. Never earned anything. Actually getting called for something illegal there and giving up a point. Might have been an illegal slam is what he called. So anxious to go ahead and take him down was Tolbert that he was unsuccessful in finishing, over aggressive and used momentum actually in a way that forced him right through the takedown. Very rarely do you say that when you move through you want to blow and blast through. In that case, he blasted through just a little too far without a whole lot of reaction from Tim Burge.
Action's been so fast here, we didn't have a chance to really even mention that at 113 pounds last year, Chase Shields finished first in the District 3 championships, came back with a runner-up finish in the state championships at 113. And to continue on that train of thought here at 132, Tolbert was third in District 3 last year and finished 8th at the PIAA championships.
And again, when you got those guys all wrestling around the same weight, add another Shields, the competition in the room is hot and heated, and you can see that level of competition right out here on the mat. And it looks like, again, a nice near side cradle turns right into a pin for Bodie Tolbert.
5 straight pins for the Crusaders as they take control of this match. You're watching live high school wrestling from High School Sports Live.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
We are back underway at 138 pounds. This presented by the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
We've got Tyler Martin from Bishop McDevitt versus Eric Peach from Milton Hershey. Martin first in for 2. Takes Peach back down to the mat. Ball ride. We got blood time red.
Match of streaks here, George. First 22 points coming up for Milton Hershey, and then McDevitt has roared back 5 straight pins to take a 34-22 lead. And while we have some blood time on the mat, let's take a quick break before we come back to Bishop McDevitt for more action.
Hit the road with Jack. Hit the road with the Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 8 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, and Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. A Giambalvo family dealership. Over 20 million in new and pre-owned inventory with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family's been a part of your community for decades. Hit the road with Jack and find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
Tell you, George, good wrestlers and good teams come up big when it really counts, and that's what we're seeing here. You expect these types of performances from these wrestlers from McDevitt, and that's what they're turning in for us tonight.
And again, McDevitt's coming out showing where their strength is. I think they're part of their lineup there, the stretch from 113 probably up and through 145, 152 could be one of the, if not the strongest lineup in AA wrestling around the state. So you may feel good coming around that corner, but when you get to the buzzsaw, you look up at the scoreboard from 22-0, 34-22, a big change of events and some extraordinarily high-quality wrestlers in that part of McDevitt's lineup.
And in defense of the Spartans, they have a very, very young team. They had 5 guys that got into the district matches last year. 4 of those graduated. So that they are an extremely young team.
They're young. Also, again, we talked about their layoff, and despite coming from all different backgrounds, all parts of the state, come together cohesively and always put up one heck of a team. I mean, again, Milton Hershey, one of the top premier teams in the division, and from a AA standpoint, always presenting some wrestlers that make it far within the state tournament confines, and they put up a formidable team in District 3 competition.
Yeah, another blood time out there for Eric Peach. With what we've seen from McDevitt tonight so far, that's why this team won the Lancaster Catholic duel match over the weekend, and why Tolbert finished 8th at the prestigious Powerade tournament out at Canon McMillan over the New Year's break. And another wrestler who we might be seeing in the next match coming up, the 145, Tanner Updegraff, he also finished 8th.
Yep.
It's one of the top tournaments in the entire country.
So we got 2 8th-place finishers in Powerade, and throw in Tyler Martin in between, who clearly is a extraordinarily capable wrestler. Again, I said from 113 through 152, McDevitt might have the most formidable lineup in the state of Pennsylvania AA.
And just to follow up on that Powerade train of thought, mentioning the 2 8th-place finishers for McDevitt, let's give a shout-out to Trent Hidley of Mifflin County. He won Powerade at 182. He's nationally ranked, I think, number 3 in the country, according to some of the ratings.
And all of us who are familiar with District 3 wrestling, the Hidley name is nothing that's unfamiliar. A great line of wrestlers from the Hidley family, and I'm certainly sure he's high on the recruiting list.
So Tyler Martin with a good opening period here as we go to period 2. He has an 8-3 lead over Eric Peach. Shot of the Milton Hershey bench. And the second period's underway. Martin in control on the mat and on the board. He leads at 8-3.
And you said Trent Hidley, he just committed to North Carolina State.
Oh, good for him. We're talking about commits. The public address announcer here, the father of Cole Nye.
Yep.
Was the state champion last year for the Crusaders. He's now at Michigan State.
Yep. Great young man. I know was here at McDevitt for the program. Actually went to Wyoming Seminary for a year and then came back and was back-to-back state champions for McDevitt, the first ever in the history of the school. They got Tyler Martin running this bar. Tries to keep it tight, collect that far arm. He wants to run it across the back, which he's going to do, straight across the back. And again, he got to take big steps here. There he goes. It's not a comfortable position to have. Actually, was successful in hooking the arm, but in a smart way, Peach actually used the momentum as he was being thrown over to completely sell out and was able to unsecure or loosen up his arms and come free for a 2-point reversal here. Now working the top position. It's a perfect example of how somebody else's strong move and your momentum can work against the other guy. Now coming right back in the match is Tyler Martin, working hard for an escape. 11-5. Blood time back on red.
And we're going to have another blood time. We mentioned Michigan State, where Cole Nye is. They're going to be hosting Penn State on Sunday. The Nittany Lions, 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the Big Ten, ranked number 2 in the country, at number 4 Michigan tomorrow night.
I'll tell you, I've never seen the state of Pennsylvania be more excited about a wrestling program or a program boast a lineup like Penn State. A little bit interesting to watch how they match up against both Michigan and obviously Ohio State, now ranked number 1. Big Ten wrestling is the best wrestling in the country, and Penn State by far has set the bar for wrestling in the entire country. Cale Sanderson and the lineup that starts from 149 through up and through 285 is unbelievable, winning, I believe, 5 back-to-back-to-back national titles last year to take, I think, 6 out of 7 last year's as being the national champion.
Now let's give a shout out to the Lock Haven wrestling team too. They're ranked number 20 in the country, and they're basically like a Central Pennsylvania all-star team.
They are.
Chance Marsteller from Kennerdale back in the lineup. He had a number of personal issues that seem to be behind him now. He's wrestling. He's nationally ranked. Thomas Haynes from Solanco, former state champ.
4-time state champion. 2 4-time state champions from Central Pennsylvania.
And let's throw Kyle Shoup from Boiling Springs in there as well. He's also nationally ranked.
How many times have we yelled Shoopy and watched that Biglerville or Boiling Springs and Bermudian matches where Coach Rodney Wright always told me Shoopy's my guy. So, yeah, Central Pennsylvania has carried Lock Haven back into the top 20 for the first time in about 8 years. Nice initial takedown by Martin.
Yeah, and mark your calendar. You mentioned Boiling Springs and Bermudian. They will be going at it on the mat later on this month, on the 27th.
Never a dull moment when the Eagles and the Bubblers square it up. It's usually... thanks to our TV, no longer do you have to sit in the cafeteria to watch the match that's sold out. So,
going to period number 3, Tyler Martin of McDevitt in control, 13-5. Crusaders also on top of the big board, 34-22. So we're battling at 138.
I've been impressed by Martin's his entire pop and the way that he has his energy burst straight through. He explodes through the takedown. As a matter of fact, I've seen 1 or 2 times where he's exploded to where it's been used to a disadvantage. He needs to stay in control, but wants to finish those takedowns, works side to side, works 1 and 2 things at a time. Perfect example of it there, where he works off of a front headlock, single leg, double leg, finishes at the edge to go up 15-5.
So we're in major decision range here, and we're getting close to a possible tech fall. Minute 21 to go. Martin leads by 10, needs 5 more points to get the 5 team points for the technical fall.
Working a one-on-one, both guys not doing a whole lot here. 1 minute remaining in the third period. 10-point lead. Tyler Martin. Again, just hanging on one-on-one. Not much being done by either wrestler. Wouldn't be surprised to see the official try to move him on. Now Martin throws both boots in over the top. Now tries to work a power half. Successful in driving it down. Now trying to earn 2. Peach fights it off and puts his belly button on the mat. This is a stalemate position. If he's unable to move him, he's either got to move him to the side or you need to stalemate this. Neither guy can promote any action from this location.
And there it is. And as we're coming down to the final couple matches in this one, just a couple of reminders. Stay tuned for the post-match show, brought to you by Mazzotti and Sullivan. The move of the match, sponsored by Capital Region Insurance Agency, and the wrestler of the match, sponsored by Hoffman Ford. That's coming up at the conclusion of this one. Again, McDevitt on top, 34-22, as we battle at 138.
And we're expecting a stalemate there. Instead, referee Miller calls a stalling warning on the top wrestler. And really, the top wrestler throwing those legs has a responsibility to promote the action. Many times it's called stalemate first, second time stalling, but up to the referee's discretion.
And that's going to do it. Tyler Martin, a 10-point winner at 138. You're watching live high school wrestling action from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Are you suffering from ongoing aches and pains? Did you get a little too ambitious enjoying your favorite activities? Don't live in pain. Contact the great team at NovaCare Rehabilitation or Select Physical Therapy for relief today. From our individualized treatment plans and convenient hours to a highly trained and compassionate clinical team, we are your only choice for physical therapy, hand therapy, sports medicine, and work health services. Your healing can start today. Visit our website to schedule an appointment at one of our convenient community-based locations or call 800-770-6682.
It's 145 now. This match presented by the Dauphin County Commissioners. Any idea who they are, George?
I have no idea.
Luke Pippa on the mat for Bishop McDevitt.
Adrian Rosario for Milton Hershey. And again, this was a match, in talking to Ed Nicewinder, former coach of Lower Dauphin, coach when I wrestled in high school. I had a lot of go-rounds with Coach Nicewinder. He talked about Rosario being one of their better wrestlers. I know a senior going up against Luke Pippa, who had made it to the state tournament last year, I'm pretty sure.
That was John Pippa.
Oh, John Pippa.
Yeah,
well,
John.
Obviously his brother is a very, very good quality wrestler, and I knew this would probably be a better matchup tonight. When Coach Nicewinder talks highly of you, that means you're a grinder.
A Gruden grinder, huh?
A Gruden grinder.
Let's not match. Let's not mix sports here. Mentioned earlier that 5 wrestlers from Milton Hershey got to the District 3 South Central Region individual championships last year. Rosario was one of those 5, the only one of the 5, though, returning to this year's team.
Got to be careful not to lock his hands here. Now pulls Pippa back in, maintains control. Still with a 2-0 lead. He's got to be careful instead of just dropping to the ankles. Got to work up and work towards the turn. Luke Pippa successfully is able to kick out, square up, earn 1 with 31 seconds to go. Might highlight this as probably one of the most competitive matches of the night. Both guys pretty evenly matched. Attempted throw by, front headlock by Rosario. Now attempting to throw. He's able to do it. Actually has it tight here. There it is.
He's got it. Adrian Rosario of Milton Hershey, winner by fall. Beat the clock, 1/10 of a second left. You're watching live wrestling action from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess. My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
So Milton Hershey stops the bleeding. It's now 38-28 as we move to 152. This match presented by Advanced Hoops.
Tanner Updegraff. And I know it's Coleman out here. I think it's a Richard Coleman. Richard Coleman. Tanner Updegraff out. 2 takedown, 2 near fall. Remains in control. Now trying to work a tilt. Actually now working far wrist. He's got a bar. He's got to break him down flat before he tries to run it here. There it is. Got his head on the mat. He's got to get him flat to the mat before he runs that. Again, hanging on. Needs to work that. Without working it, could be called for stalling from the top position.
George, realize we've got 13 matches before you finally said something about the head being on the mat.
Look, this is nice. Hammerlock. Hammerlock. He's got him tight. Now he has to back into it. Now he switches into a double bar. Wants to sit up. He's got to attach it. There it is. There it is.
There it is. Fall for a Tanner Updegraff at 152. You're watching live high school wrestling action from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
So with the McDevitt Crusaders having this one wrapped up, we go to our last match of the evening. It's at 160 pounds, presented by Invicta Video Production Services. The folks bring you the sights and sounds of this one here from Bishop McDevitt tonight. Thanks, guys and girls.
Looks like we've got Elijah Cooksey from Bishop McDevitt. And I've got a check on the Milton Hershey wrestler here. It's
Gashura Gateau.
Gashura Gateau. I like your French. Oui, oui.
I apologize if that's not correct, but
it sounds good. Looks correct. Fighting hands. Out of bounds.
Again, stay tuned for the Mazziti and Sullivan post-match show. The move of the match by Capital Region Insurance Agency, and the wrestler of their match presented by Hoffman Ford. During that last break, George and I kind of cast our votes. So why don't you stay tuned and see if your choices match up with who we select tonight for those awards.
Gateau with a nice little slick arm drag attempt. Fended off by Cooksey. Still working towards that cross arm, trying to get wrist control. Still just hand fighting in the inside.
And if you're watching the live streaming again, just to mention again that you get a chance to see this one again on Saturday night. It's going to be rebroadcast by PCN this coming Saturday at 9 p.m.
Prime time, Saturday night.
So if the NFL game doesn't do anything for you, flip over and watch the wrestling.
Hopefully, as an Eagles fan, we won't be living a lifetime of disappointment again by Saturday night. Let's stay optimistic despite the prognosis.
Well, that game should be over before this one gets on. So
both guys still trying to feel each other out. Stalling warning now on Gateau. Cooksey swings behind. Needs to lift him back and return him to the mat and remain in control, and does for the first two.
So Elijah Cooksey of McDevitt, with that one takedown, takes a 2-0 lead over Gashura Gateau of Milton Hershey as we go to period number 2. And stay tuned for our post-match report and our wrestler of the match and move of the match.
Gateau managing to hang on there. Cooksey selecting a defensive position to start. Gets out for a 3-0 lead. Cooksey slides behind. And again, needs to bring him back down to the mat. It does. See, we've got an injury time. First one of the night.
Looks like left ankle, left foot.
What was this? Immediate jump out, 22-0 lead. And then McDevitt comes roaring back, and with the exception of a really great performance by Adrian Rosario, has dominated the 113 to the so far the 160 weight class.
Yeah, the McDevitt wave started at 285 with Tahir Layton with the major decision. Then that followed up with 5 straight falls. Then another major decision. And then, as you said, Rosario kind of stopped the bleeding for Milton Hershey.
I was really impressed with Rosario going up against a quality wrestler in Luke Pippa, and comes out looking sharp despite the long layoff. And I think Rosario in his senior year is not going to be somebody that goes away quietly.
And while they attend to Gashura Gateau, let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
The Advanced Hoops training staff features Division I level instructors and coaches who have played professionally. Charlie Fortney's shooting instruction has proven transformational for players in South Central PA. Gerald Jarman takes players to the next level in his dribbling and crossover intensity classes. Archie Smith teaches intense speed and agility and is very motivational. 6'9" Duke McCamey is excellent at teaching young post player technical skills around the basket.
Over 30 years of Division I and professional experience. It doesn't get any better than that.
Back here at Bishop McDevitt, Gateau is kind of limping very gingerly on that left foot or ankle. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue, so it's going to be an injury forfeit. So rack up the win for Elijah Cooksey of McDevitt at 160 pounds to finish things off this evening. And that's going to make the final score Bishop McDevitt 50, Milton Hershey 28. We'll be back to wrap things up here at Bishop McDevitt. Stay tuned for the post-match show, the move of the match, and wrestler of the match coming your way next. You're watching live high school wrestling action from High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA and Select Medical.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, you two. It's dinner time. When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help homeownership dreams come true.
My 3 CCA students love attending cyber school. They love the interaction with the other families, with their teachers, with the other students. The students will learn on the computer. They have live lessons just like the lessons would be in a typical school when you go to it. As a learning coach, my role is to support my students and facilitate their education. The curriculum is very extensive, and so the students are being challenged every single day in their different subject areas. CCA has helped my family to get a quality education, and it has been a wonderful experience.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
No regrets.
If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 717-731-1142.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Back here at Bishop McDevitt, welcome to the post-match report, brought to you by Mazzitti and Sullivan. And George, 22-0 start for Milton Hershey. Then all of a sudden, McDevitt shows why they're the reigning district champs and had 5 place winners at the states last year. Got it in gear and just roared away to a 50-28 victory.
Well, you know, we can't deny it. Milton Hershey had a great start despite a long layover, coming out with a forfeit and a couple of quick pins to extend their lead 22-0. But as we stated during the broadcast, the lineup between 113 to 152 could very well be the best AA lineup, pound for pound and matchup for matchup in the state of Pennsylvania. So when you got those hammers around the corner, you know you're going to get bonus points. And McDevitt's going to be a formidable opponent, if not the leader of the pack, when it comes to the end of the year in District 3 for the team championships.
Okay, so let's give out some of our post-match awards here tonight. First of all, it's going to be our wrestler of the match. It was at 145 pounds, and it's Adrian Rosario of Milton Hershey. The Crusaders of McDevitt had rattled off 7 straight wins when Rosario comes up with a pin to stop the bleeding. Only momentarily, though. But Adrian Rosario of Milton Hershey is our wrestler of the match. That came at 145 pounds. And now we move to the move of the match. And I tell you, this is one of those where you like to say, don't blink, because you might miss it. And that indeed was the case. The move of the match is going to go at 126 pounds, and it goes to Bishop McDevitt's Jack Cunningham. Right from the start.
Far ankle, locks it up, has it tight, keeps a hold of the head, and anytime you're able to complete a takedown to directly to the back to a pin in 15 seconds, you will be a candidate for the move of the match.
And he pinned Nicholas Bell, as we said, in just 15 seconds. So Jack Cunningham of Bishop McDevitt gets our move of the match tonight. That's sponsored by Capital Region Insurance Agency. So that's going to wrap it up from here at Bishop McDevitt. Thank you for joining us. Again, this will be delayed broadcast on PCN coming up on Saturday at 9 o'clock. Our next wrestling match here from High School Sports Live is going to be a week from tonight. Southwestern at Central York. That's going to be down at Central York. That's next Thursday, January 18th. All action coming your way at 7 o'clock. So again, Bishop McDevitt in control of this one on their home mat as they roar to an easy win over Milton Hershey. Thanks for watching. For George Hartwick, I'm John Repitz, and all of our crew here from the Invictus Sports production team. Thanks for joining us again. Again, McDevitt the winner, 50-28 over Milton Hershey. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everybody.